Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, we all know by now that the sanctuary city mayors were testifying before Congress, and it was actually pretty good. And our favorite mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, was up there testifying. I mean, they kind of put him through the ringer. I want to show you an exchange that Mayor Brandon Johnson had when he was being questioned about what is a sanctuary city and what are having sanctuary from. Let's go ahead and check this out.
Mayor Johnson, how about you? How many, according to my records, you have welcomed 51,648 illegal aliens to your sanctuary city. So I'd ask you, sanctuary from what?
If you're referring to the number of individuals that were bused from Governor Abbott without any coordination, the 52,000 individuals that were seeking asylum, those individuals were bused to us. I passed a bus ordinance to work to coordinate with the governor of Texas. He refused to do that. But that transfer of individuals was the result of the governor of Texas, not the result of a welcoming city ordinance.
Welcoming city ordinance. So you're not welcoming these people that came here illegally?
The individuals that were bused to us from the border.
They were not welcome in Chicago? You didn't welcome them? You didn't provide them sanctuary?
So the welcoming city ordinance is pretty straightforward. It allows for our local law enforcement to focus on local policies, and that's why we're seeing a decline in violence.
So you don't care about federal law enforcement policies, only local policies?
We comply with all laws. What I do care about is this body, Washington, passing comprehensive immigration.
So let me ask you this. Chicago residents reported 28,443 violent crimes during 2024 alone, cases of aggravated assault rising to the highest level in 2 decades. Now, also, state funds, $160 million, were issued to illegal alien job assistance shelters in Chicago. You're the mayor of Chicago. Do you think that your residents or the residents of your state should be paying for that more than they should be paying for their own needs, their own roads, their own public safety? I mean, who elected you? The people that came illegally, whether they were sent to you or not, or the people that reside in Chicago? Who elected you? And who do you serve?
The people of Chicago elected me as the 57th mayor of the city of Chicago, and we serve all the residents of the city of Chicago. Illegal
or not, criminal or not, how many of the 662,566 illegal aliens with criminal histories that ICE has reported are now residing in Chicago?
Someone will have to get back with you with that number. I don't keep account of.
Do you take immigration information from criminals as they're arrested and processed? Do you take immigration information?
Our local law enforcement focuses on getting all violent individuals off the streets of Chicago. Do you determine
whether they're here legally, what their immigration status is as a function of your justice system?
Gentleman, time's expired, but please feel free to answer the question, Mayor.
The welcoming city ordinance ensures that our local residents communicate and trust local law enforcement to ensure that criminals and crime is being addressed, and that's why violent crime has gone down in the city of Chicago. Thank you very much,
Chair now recognizes
Mr. Chairman, I have a unanimous consent required.
Mayor Brandon Johnson just will not answer straightforward questions, and that's the way he is all the time. See, when he's asked a question about sanctuary cities, who you hiding them from, right? And I will keep saying this: if you live in a sanctuary city, you have a great discrimination case because it's discriminatory what they're doing with them. You have people who are homeless in Chicago, but yet you got migrants being put up in shelters while American citizens are being homeless. No. In any country I've ever traveled to, the citizens have way more rights than a foreigner. They let you know that. Do you know in certain countries, the citizens will pay a lower price and the foreigner will pay a higher price? This is what they do in other countries. But yet in this country, the citizen is the one that's going to be on the streets while the foreign national is going to be put up in the shelter. The citizen is going to starve and got to go look for food while the foreign national in Chicago has a good meal. You understand what I'm saying? On top of that, they was giving them money to get their own homes while FBAs wasn't giving a dime to get homes. They were putting them up in places to stay and paying 6 months rent. This is what Chicago was doing with foreign nationals, but they wasn't doing that with FBAs in Chicago. They wasn't doing that whatsoever. They was giving the foreign nationals job fairs, but you wasn't giving FBAs job fairs in the city of Chicago that need to work. Oh yes, it is complete discriminatory, completely. And that's what the citizens have to really, and the residents of that city have to be upset about and say, no, this sanctuary city crap is not going to fly. We need federal law passed where it bans sanctuary cities nationwide. You can't be a sanctuary city for foreign nationals. Sorry. If you're going to have refuge for the citizen. And then what are you having refuge for them for? Right? Because if it was truly a sanctuary city, then it'd be a sanctuary for all people, not just foreign nationals. People who swinging a foreign flag and who are more dedicated to their homeland than here. They're coming here to take from America. Because what they do, they get money and they send back to their home countries, to their families. That's what they do. And what I'm telling all of you, that this sanctuary city thing got to come to a head. Democrats should be losing elections behind sanctuary cities. If you don't send a message to the Democrats in the midterms that sanctuary cities won't be tolerated, they're going to continue to do it. And sanctuary cities do not benefit FBAs at all. We have no benefit because we're not immigrants. How does that benefit us? It is okay to vote in your FBA interests. And we don't vote political party, we vote policy. And the sanctuary cities is not a policy for us that we should be going along with. Now, if a Republican wants to get in there and get rid of sanctuary cities, hey, well, I'll vote for the Republican then. Doesn't make you a Republican. But say, hey, I'm going to vote for that because that's a policy that's going to benefit. If the Republican is going to come in and say, hey, I'm closing all these people, they got it. When I get in there, they gone. They gone day one. And if anybody going to stay in these shelters, it's going to be our residents in this city. Then you go with the Republican. That's how they talking. Them aldermen that you have in Chicago, get rid of them. If they talking all that immigration talk in sanctuary city, get them on out of there. Y'all have to start showing up in these local elections to like y'all did, like they did with Tiffany Henyard. They voted her out, right? Same thing with the alderman in Chicago. Same thing with Brandon Johnson. He only has a 6% approval rating, so he's probably going to be out of there anyway. He probably is. But Brandon Johnson can't answer anything. He's scripted. He can't really think on his own. He can't. I think all this is too much for Brandon Johnson because he wasn't a career politician. There's a lot on Brandon Johnson right now. The man was sick not too long ago because there's a lot of stress and pressure on him. That's why. But Brandon Johnson, he really needs to stop following these Democrat policies and really think. He was over there with Mayor Adams. He should have pulled Mayor Adams to the side and said, Mayor Adams, like, hey, I see what you did. Like, man, what's going on? I ain't trying to have a problem. And holler at Mayor Adams. That's the one you should have hollered at. You're right there next to him. Shoot, I mean, he can turn, if he say he's not popular, he could turn that around if he go along with what the people want. He could turn that around. He could, but he doesn't want to because he's still thinking that he got a future in the Democrat Party. Then voters get you out of there, you won't have a future in the Democrat Party. It's just that simple. If you can't be good, if you can't do good for your people in your city, then you can't do good nowhere. That's just really what it is. A mayor should always seek to do good in their city. Because that'll be your biggest supporters when it's time for you to run for, state rep, Congress, Senate, or if you want a presidential run, well, at least they can say, hey, he took care of this city. He did right by us. That's the report you want. But you don't want people saying, man, this dude is horrible. You don't want that because you'll never get in office again. But Brandon Johnson and all these sanctuary city mayors, y'all need to tear that mess up. Because the American people, they're not for that no more. All these sanctuary cities. No, these people have to go back to their homeland, go work that stuff out. They say they're so much hard working. Hey, well, go show us how to hard work over there. We don't need no more hard workers here. We got enough people here to work. Trust me, we do.